Call the Apple lawyers because somebody got Vision Pro to run on the Meta Quest Pro. Now, to put that a little bit in perspective, the Apple headset, the Apple Vision Pro headset, will be coming out next year with around $3,500 as the price tag. There's already been a little bit of rumors, unofficial rumors, that Apple may be changing this due to, some people just, aren't happy that it's going to cost that much for what it does. But somebody has been able to get the actual Apple software to run on the Meta Quest Pro, which costs about $1,000. So even under a third. We're looking at like 30%, 28%, somewhere in there. Now, this take on Vision Quest Pro has been made by Supernova Technologies with the goal of promoting its Nova UI framework for Unity. It's not a full-scale copy of the operating system, but instead more of a demo. But the idea is you can test out Apple's eye tracking interface, the pinch click, well before the actual Apple headset hits the store. So it's not actually Apple software, but it's a demo of pretty much everything Apple showed off with hand gesture controls and eye tracking controls using the built-in ones in the Meta Quest Pro, but it also looks more like Apple's headset. Now, the wild part about this is obviously there's a little more going on with Apple's headset. The headband looks way nicer than the Meta Quest Pros. It has the outward-facing displays for your avatar thing, which at the end of the day, I don't know how much people really care about that right now. Maybe in the future people care about that, but right now it seems, to me at least, to be a weird feature. But this is at least the start of showing that Apple is charging an Apple tax here. Maybe the speakers are better, but if the screens aren't that much better, like if there's not that big of a difference, we're not talking about something that worth it. I mean, this could really show the lead that Meta has in this industry, and Apple just legitimized it for them. So Apple possibly here, if this is as cool as it looks like it is, as we can see here, there's a little demo project. But look, they're pointing with the eyes, it's picking it up. Pinch to tap. Now, this is all stuff too. Like a lot of the stuff Apple showed off, Mark Zuckerberg has said the Meta Quest 3 is going to be more than capable of doing. Which, if that's true, that's a $500 headset. So now we're talking like a seventh of the cost, an eighth of the cost to do the same thing. If that's true, then that is going to be a wild disparage. Now, that said, the Quest 3 obviously isn't going to have nearly the same quality of screens or anything like that. But I gotta say, with the Quest 2 Pro, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but for $300, you were getting a pretty sweet setup. Now, for $500, after a few years have gone by, who knows what that difference is really going to look like. But in terms of the things that make this headset like cool is the eye tracking and hand tracking to do things and interact with it where you don't necessarily need the controllers. And if the Meta Quest Pro can already do it, and supposedly the Quest 3 is going to also be capable of it, it's really going to beg you a little more to think about, is that price tag worth it? With the materials Apple looked like they were using, the weight that's going to have. Also, there's something to be said about actually having the controllers, because you get vibration feedback when you're interacting with things, and you're actually like squeezing something. Like, to an extent, it does make it a little more real versus grabbing something with your hand and it like faking it, like you just grabbed the cup there, versus you're grabbing like, sure, you're grabbing, this looks really wrong. Sure, you're grabbing more, but you're grabbing like the controller at least, so there's some feedback there. But this is just for them to have basically, I mean, it's just the main interface here and they launched an app, but to get that copied down within like a month with the eye tracking and pinch click pretty spot on. I mean, it was just shown off by them, but it's crazy that they were able to do that quickly, basically.